We all have heard that one must always give a second chance. And one African country has decided to give at least half of its prison population a chance to redeem themselves. In the East African nation of Burundi, which is sandwiched between Rwanda, Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of Congo, thousands of detainees have been released as a part of an effort by the country to reduce overcrowding in prisons. Now, this follows an ultimatum by Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye, and all of the prisoners charged with minor crimes must be released within 2 weeks to ease the pressure on the country's prisons. Now, of the 13,211 prisoners in Burundi, 5,442 will be freed, according to the presidency, and this represents 41% of the prisoner population in Burundi. Now, speaking at an event in one of the prisons last week, President Ndayishimiye has noted that the decongesting of prisons was a part of the implementation of promises he had made in his inaugural speech as president in 2020. As a part of his vision of relieving prison congestion, the president had promised to do everything he could to reduce the prison population and to replace prison sentences with other activities of common interest. He also requested the released prisoners and those going to be released to not fall back into the cycle of committing crimes that had led them to the prison and instead to focus on development work that can help build Burundi. Now, President Ndayishimiye has asked prisoners to avoid the idleness at all costs because, according to him, that is the mother of all evil in the world. Now, local media reports suggest that the president also said that the amount allocated to prisons each year was greater than the amount that the government used to build other infrastructure, making it necessary for the government to decongest some of the prisons. Burundi has about 11 prisons in the country. Some of them are located in the capital of Gitega, Rayugi and Muramvya, among other locations. And most of these institutions have prisoners beyond their authorized capacity. Now, overcrowding in Burundi's prisons has been taking place for several reasons. First is due to the slow pace at which the courts process cases. This is due to the lack of resources, incompetence, corruption, and judicial malfunctions. The second reason is believed to be that political prisoners and detainees accused of minor offences continue to be held without any title or rights. Another reason is likely failure to comply with court orders for provisional release. Now, statistics show that the number of prisoners in Burundi's prisons are over 3 times greater than the capacity of the prisons. As of December 2023, the prison population stood at 13,693. Out of this, 6,739 were remand prisoners or those in custody awaiting trial or sentence, and 6,613 are convicted prisoners. Additionally, 128 are infants and 213 are minors. Now, interestingly, the total capacity of all prisons is just 4,294, meaning that the occupancy rate reached almost 316%. Hence, since taking over as the president in 2020, Evariste Ndayishimiye has been pardoning prisoners who have committed smaller crimes to ease pressure on prisons.
In any case, whether you are guilty or not, the state is always a parent, so it can never be happy to punish.
Despite promising changes after taking office and releasing prisoners from jails, the country continues to grapple with a high rate of crimes. Some of the most prominent crimes range from muggings and bag snatching to embezzlement of public funds and corruption, as well as organized crime such as human trafficking and smuggling. But with President Ndayishimiye easing pressures on the prison system in Burundi, there remains a larger question of whether giving a second chance will reduce crime rates in the country, or will they only contribute more to the menace in the East African country.